So, what have you got for us, Jamie?
What have I got for you? So it is more a conversation starter. Oh, did you want to summon something with your voice?
Do you have some shit internet apologists say?
I do, my lord. All right.
Okay.
So
We need to use that more, honestly.
yeah, we should use it all the time. So a few days ago, earlier this week, a group of 24 men who claim to be transporting cattle to an animal fair and this story is out of India, so I'm going to go ahead and apologize right now for the pronunciation of literally every word I'm about to speak. Okay, so in Mahashandra, where 24 men transporting transporting cattle to an animal fair in Mahashandra, I pronounced it differently within less than 10 seconds, were thrashed and forced to chant a religious chant by a gang of, cow vigilantes yesterday in Convoy district in Madhya Pradesh. There's a disturbing video of it online through the Atheist Republic. It was filmed with a mobile phone, but they were transporting cattle. They got jumped, as it were, tied together and forced to chant religious chants that translate roughly to victory to Mother Cow. And then, the vigilantes allege that they were transporting them for slaughter. And the thing that makes this, for me, shit internet apologists say, is that the police are probing allegations of cruelty, which
Phrasing.
but no action has been taken against the vigilantes.
Okay. I'm sorry, are these Hindus or?
Yes, they would be Hindu. Yeah. It's
You don't hear about a lot of violence perpetrated by Hindus.
There was a bit earlier. They opened temples to women for the first time.
we covered that.
Yeah, we covered that.
And there was the lawyer saying, "Just wait, we're gonna appeal it. Can you just wait to do this until we appeal it and get it overturned?" Yeah, well, it wasn't to all women. It was women of menstruating age. So it was women between the ages of 10 and 50.
Yeah,
all those.
I don't know how I feel about being classified by.
Well,
but are you of menstruating age? They should ask that when they card you.
Yeah, how are you going to check that? I mean, it's just going to be an arbitrary. We're going to make an assumption based on your age, but please don't check.
Yeah.
Please.
I mean, potentially they have a bouncer at the door of the temple, but
oh god,
no. So these are
no.
Yeah, so yes, they are Hindu was the answer to your question.
Okay.
And no sacred cow isn't actually an accurate description of their religion, but of their religious beliefs. But the reason that it's shit internet apologists say, and that I've heard this from multiple places, is that religion there is a huge part of what they do, right? Like, it hasn't always been, but there's this Hindu nationalist sentiment rising.
Right, yeah.
Modi, I believe, has returned with an increased majority, and all this. And so I'm not quite cynical enough to have snapped as a response of, oh, you don't hear that much about violence with Hindus. I was like, just wait, it's gonna get worse.
Not all that often.
Not all that.
To be fair.
You certainly don't hear about it all that often.
Yeah.
But there's that. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
They're probing, huh?
Yeah, they're
probing
Thank you for that.
allegations.
Yeah.
they're probing the cows, or the allegation. Probing the cow allegations. I'm
Seriously, are we not
unfamiliar
saying
with
phrase anymore?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm unfamiliar with the biology, but I think allegation is the clinical term. So
Okay.
So there's that. Also, I just realized that I have these sunglasses on my head, and that we started recording, and that no one told me.
I assume that was intentional. It looks so cool.
Well, now I have to put them back because V likes them. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the headband is an accessory, and the sunglasses.
You're
are an
channeling
accessory.
Christian camp counselor right now. It's a.
Oh, I set myself up to be blamed and shamed one way and the other. Well,
You got to be able to laugh at yourself.
I do every morning in the mirror.
So, okay. I think my original point was the Hindus are vegetarian, yes?
Depends on the Hindu.
Okay.
I mean, in general, vegetarianism is more popular in India than it is
Right.
in the United
Because
States.
I was going to throw out some probably misconceptions.
Cows
I'm
have
not,
a religious significance, right? So there are problems in India, right?
Yeah.
Like the rape culture there is rampant. I don't know why I gestured at you. You're not from India, but the rape culture there is worse than here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a person who I think for a time lived in India. I can't remember exactly where I heard it, but said like, well, they have enough police to protect cows because cows are given free rein. They can wander where they will, but they don't have enough police to protect the people.
So the opposite of a humanist.
Yes. I was going to say, I want to see how long I can keep it.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Yep.
They've got police officers protecting cows,
Well,
but
I mean, you
not people.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's one thing if a bus hits a tourist. Every New Yorker will understand that sentiment. But it's another thing if a bus hits a cow. Then, you got to do something about it.
Are you familiar at all with why the cow is sacred? Because I am not.
The cow has religious significance in a way that I'm unfamiliar with. No,
Shit. Okay. Let us know. You feel free to email us.
Yes, email, comment.
Yeah, I
Tell us these
vaguely
things.
remember.
we can revisit this next episode.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I was going to say.
there's so many. There's a lot of history and nuance with a lot of these religions, especially a religion so old that.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where it's like, particularly from like the Western eye or like in the United States, there's this like, oh, there's no problem. Eastern thought, Eastern religion. Oh, it's a temple. Oh, it's worship. Oh, it's all about, inner peace and meditation. And it's like, no, there's bhakti.
Yeah,
right?
well,
like
we
it's
don't have
just
to-
about. Oh, we're all about Brahma, and who am I thinking of?
Shit.
Krishna.
Yeah,
There it
we
is.
don't have
Or
to
it's
worry about
Bhakti Krishna.
the encroaching Hindu theocracy here in the States. So
Nope. I mean, despite what some preachers will tell you, we don't have to worry about that.
no,
That is
no.
not the biggest concern.
I am making excuses for not knowing anything about the Hindu faith.
Well, it says here, I just looked it up super quick because Google is amazing and a magical friend.
V just came onto the show to shame me today, apparently. All right.
Hindus are vegetarians and they consider the cow to be a sacred symbol of life that should be protected and revered. In the Vedas, the oldest of the Hindu scriptures, the cow is associated with Aditi, the mother of all gods. So it's more of an association. So kind of, I guess, what would a equivalent be necessarily? So imagine like
Christianity?
Right, like imagine
Or-
that like lambs or like sheep were protected, not because the sheep had any divine significance themselves, but because the
It's a
Lamb of
symbol.
God. It's
Yeah.
a symbol
Ah,
of.
okay, yeah,
in the
yeah.
same way
Kind of a
that
symbol.
there was,
Right.
there was, I forget which state it was in, there was a teenager that was, that either posted a photograph or his friend posted a photograph of him posing in a lewd position with a statue of Jesus. Right? So no one would say, oh, well, that statue is a god.
Right, exactly.
But, that's a sacred thing that you shouldn't mess with, right? Or, in the same way that Catholics will say they don't worship Mary, but they just revere images of whatever. So if you had, like, a rosary suspended in a jar of urine, and we're
You
saying
would
that
be
it
a
was-
witch, yes.
Well, no, I say that specifically because there was an image of that work of modern art available on the AP website, and it remained there despite objections until after Charlie Hebdo, when they refused to put Charlie Hebdo up, so they had to take everything down.
Right.
Okay.
Principles are cheap when you don't have to look down the barrel of a gun.
And that's
Yeah.
your quote that they're going to source.
Yeah.
I don't think
Principles
I'm
are
going to have
cheap
quotes.
when you don't have to look down the barrel of a gun.
Okay, if I don't get a quote this episode,
We'll get you there.
yeah, I'll work on it
Yeah.
for next episode probably. All right. Well, yeah. Thank you, Jamie. So they revere just the symbol of what the cow means, not the fact that the cow itself is meaningful. It is a symbol of something that is meaningful.
Therefore,
well, it also produces things for them that are meaningful.
Milk.
So milk, and they graze, and they provide. I'm not sure what else they would provide if they don't eat them, but they do have like provisional value as well.
I mean, so there's that, but I think it is, like it's a symbol, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about religion. So symbols are so important; they have to get in the way of the rest of life.
Exactly.
I feel like their priorities are not really aligned correctly.